Have you ever looked back at a relationship that ended and thought, how did I not see it coming? What if I told you that most breakups don't begin with cheating, betrayal, or some dramatic fight? What if the ending starts much earlier, hidden inside ordinary moments that seem completely harmless at the time? And here's the scary part. Some of the biggest warning signs don't look like red flags at all. They look like love. They look like passion. They look like commitment. That's why so many people miss them. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 9 relationship red flags that predict trouble long before most people notice them, and one of them might completely change the way you think about love. As we go through these signs, I want you to be honest with yourself. Which one have you seen before? Which one do you think is the most dangerous? Let me know in the comments because I'm genuinely curious to hear your experience. Most people think relationship failure is sudden. They imagine one massive event that destroys everything. But relationships usually don't collapse overnight. They weaken slowly. Tiny cracks appear in the foundation, and because the house still looks fine from the outside, nobody pays attention. Then one day the structure gives way, and everyone acts surprised. The truth is that the ending is often visible from the beginning, if you know what you're looking for. The first red flag is feeling like you're performing in the relationship instead of simply being yourself. In the beginning, everyone tries to make a good impression. That's normal, but eventually you should feel comfortable enough to relax. You should be able to disagree without fear. You should be able to have a bad day without worrying that your partner will suddenly see you differently. You should be able to be imperfect. Think about this for a moment. Do you feel calm before seeing your partner? Or do you feel pressure? Do you spend your time wondering if you're saying the right thing, wearing the right thing, acting the right way? If months have passed and you're still editing every part of yourself, something important is missing. Relationships are supposed to become safer over time, not more exhausting. Nobody can maintain a performance forever. Eventually, the real person emerges. And if the relationship only works when you're pretending, then it was never truly built on you in the first place. Have you ever felt like you couldn't fully be yourself around someone you cared about? Tell me in the comments. I think a lot more people experience this than they admit. The second red flag is when a relationship appears peaceful because conflict is being avoided rather than resolved. People love saying, "We never fight." They say it proudly, as if it's proof that everything is perfect. But no conflict doesn't automatically mean a healthy relationship. Sometimes it means people are afraid to speak honestly. Every relationship experiences friction. 2 different people will always have different needs, expectations, and perspectives. That's normal. The question isn't whether conflict happens. The question is what happens when it does. Can you talk through it respectfully? Can you solve problems together? Or does someone shut down, avoid the conversation, change the subject, or make the other person feel guilty for bringing it up? Small disagreements are previews of bigger challenges. If a couple can't navigate a minor misunderstanding, what happens when life delivers something truly difficult? Healthy relationships aren't defined by the absence of conflict. They're defined by the ability to handle conflict without destroying connection. Here's something worth thinking about. Is there a conversation you've been avoiding because you're afraid of how your partner might react? Let me know yes or no in the comments. The third red flag is when one person is carrying almost all of the relationship effort. One person initiates every conversation. One person plans every date. One person checks in first. One person keeps the relationship moving forward while the other simply goes along for the ride. Relationships aren't scoreboards, and nobody should be counting every text message or every gesture. But there should be mutual investment. Both people should actively choose each other. If one person is constantly chasing while the other is constantly receiving, an unhealthy dynamic begins to form. The person doing all the work slowly becomes exhausted. The person receiving all the effort may begin to take it for granted. What starts as enthusiasm can eventually become resentment. Healthy relationships require participation from both sides. Ask yourself this honestly. If you stopped initiating for a week, would the relationship continue moving forward? That's a powerful question, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. The fourth red flag is confusing chemistry with compatibility. Chemistry is exciting. Chemistry creates sparks. Chemistry can make you feel like you've met someone extraordinary. But compatibility determines whether 2 people can actually build a life together. You can love the same movies, laugh at the same jokes, and still have completely different visions for the future. One person may want children while the other doesn't. One may prioritize adventure while the other prioritizes stability. One may value financial security while the other values freedom and experiences. Love doesn't erase those differences. Attraction doesn't solve them. Ignoring them only delays the conversation. Some of the strongest feelings you'll ever experience can happen with someone who is completely wrong for your future. That's one of the hardest truths about relationships. What's more important to you? Chemistry or compatibility? Drop your answer in the comments. The fifth red flag is mistaking possessiveness for love. At first, jealousy can feel flattering, can feel like proof that someone cares deeply. But there's an important difference between caring about someone and trying to control them. A healthy partner wants you to have friends, interests, goals, and a life outside the relationship. An unhealthy partner often feels threatened by those things. They may question who you're with, where you're going, or why you're spending time with certain people. Control often disguises itself as concern, but genuine love creates freedom. It doesn't create fear. Think about that carefully. Does your relationship make your world bigger or smaller? The answer might reveal more than you realize. The sixth red flag is when physical attraction becomes a substitute for emotional intimacy. Physical chemistry matters. It absolutely matters. But attraction alone cannot sustain a relationship. Imagine spending 3 hours talking to your partner without distractions. Could you discuss fears, dreams, insecurities, mistakes, and future goals? Would you feel emotionally connected afterward? Or would the relationship feel strangely empty without physical affection? Real intimacy isn't just about being physically close. It's about being emotionally known. Some relationships feel incredibly intense in the beginning because attraction is doing all the heavy lifting. But once the excitement naturally settles, people discover there isn't much underneath. The strongest relationships combine attraction with friendship, trust, vulnerability, and understanding. Now we move to a red flag that surprises many people. The seventh red flag is when accountability only exists for one person. Every healthy relationship requires ownership. People make mistakes. Misunderstandings happen. Nobody is perfect. But pay attention to what happens after a problem occurs. Can your partner admit when they're wrong? Can they apologize sincerely? Can they reflect on their actions without immediately blaming someone else? If every disagreement somehow becomes your fault, that's a serious warning sign. Relationships cannot grow where accountability doesn't exist. Growth requires self-awareness, and self-awareness requires the willingness to say, "I messed up." Without accountability, the same problems repeat endlessly because nobody is learning from them. Here's a question for you. Do you think saying, "I'm sorry" is becoming harder or easier for people today? Tell me what you think in the comments. The eighth red flag is feeling emotionally lonely even when you're together. This one is heartbreaking because it often develops quietly. You spend time together. You text regularly. You go on dates. Everything looks normal from the outside. But deep down, you don't feel understood. You stop sharing certain thoughts because they don't seem interested. You stop discussing certain feelings because they dismiss them. You stop bringing up important topics because the conversation never goes anywhere. Gradually, you begin carrying your emotional world alone. And here's what's important to understand. Loneliness inside a relationship often hurts more than loneliness when you're single. At least when you're alone, you expect to be alone. But when you're sitting next to someone who is supposed to know you and still feel invisible, that's a completely different kind of pain. Healthy relationships create emotional connection. They make you feel seen, heard, and valued. Have you ever felt lonely while being in a relationship? If you're comfortable sharing, let me know below. The ninth and final red flag may be the most important of all. It's when the relationship consistently requires you to betray yourself. Maybe you're constantly shrinking your dreams. Maybe you're staying silent about things that matter. Maybe you're abandoning your values to avoid conflict. Maybe you're becoming someone you barely recognize. Here's the truth. Love should challenge you to grow, but it should never require you to abandon who you are. The right relationship doesn't demand that you sacrifice your identity. It supports your growth while respecting your individuality. Years from now, you don't want to look in the mirror and realize you spent so much energy holding on to someone else that you lost yourself in the process. None of these red flags automatically mean a relationship is doomed. People can grow. Communication can improve. Problems can be addressed. The purpose of recognizing these signs isn't to encourage fear. It's to encourage awareness. The earlier you notice unhealthy patterns, the more options you have. Sometimes awareness helps save a relationship. Other times it helps you avoid years of pain. Either way, awareness is power. So now I want to ask you something. Which of these 9 red flags do you think is the most dangerous? Tell me in the comments because your answer might help someone else who is watching right now. And if this video gave you something valuable to think about, take a second to hit the like button. It helps more people discover these conversations. Subscribe for more content about relationships, personal growth, psychology, and building a better life. And before you go, remember this. Most people spend years searching for the perfect partner. But what if the better question isn't whether you found the right person? What if the real question is whether the relationship you're building is creating the future you actually want? And if that question made you stop and think for a second, then there's one more thing you should ask yourself tonight. What warning sign are you currently explaining away that your future self wishes you would finally pay attention to?